there are many more options, and just read the manual I've made and you can see many options. For example, you can search for combinations of a word with a family. So for example, a word like cystitas only in the remedies belonging to the Solanaceae. You can limit your search through a certain book mix, so a certain book selection. So if you don't want to search through all the books, but to a certain selection of books, you can create a certain selection yourself, or you can use a predefined selection. Or for example, you can search for a certain pathology. And pathology means that you don't want to search on a word of that pathology, but if you want to search for a book with a whole chapter about a certain pathology. So just let me give you one example. So let's say the word concussion. I just start to type concussion, concuss, see on. Now I can search for the word concussion. Okay, let's do that. Enter, enter, enter. I see everywhere I found where the word concussion is present. This I don't want, so let me type again. Concuss, see on, and you see there is a case pathology. It means you search for a case where this was the main pathology. And here, for example, concussion pathology. It means there's a certain chapter, so there is a certain book where a chapter is called concussion, and we identified it with as a pathology. You have to go through it because, of course, there are several books with several chapter titles. So, for example, here, concussion or contusion of the chest. I select that one. I search and I see it is from this book, Laurie, the Homeopathic Domestic Medicine. There's a whole chapter about concussion. I think this is almost it for this short introduction. I just want to show you two more things. Now, for example, I searched for vomiting after eating. So vomit, enter, after, enter, eating, enter. Now by default the program automatically searches for a certain word and all its variations. So I typed here eating, but it will search for me automatically eat, eats, eating. Vomit, it will search automatically vomit, vomiting, and vomits, and vomited. How to see this? I right mouse click on a word and it opens this selection box. Here you see that by default it says consider as a word with its branches or as a chapter name. So if you type, for example, the word stomach, it will consider it as a word, or for example, if the word stomach is in the name of a chapter. So this is the broadest setting. Now here you have other options. Yeah, for example, sometimes you want to search only for a certain word. Okay, let me close this window. Now here the sen. Sen means sentence. It means you want to search any book where a sentence is present with vomit, after, and the eating, and all variations. But sometimes you search for something and you want to have it in a particular order. So you want the word vomit after eating in that order. Or sometimes you search and your result is too broad. You want to narrow it down a bit. This you can do to limit this sen. I will just show you. Right mouse click on sen, Sen is sentence within the same sentence, so you want to search for those three words within the same sentence, but you also have within the same paragraph. As an expression, that means in the exact order as you've typed it, or for example you can limit it within a certain number of words. So let me select here 6. Now here you see a 6. It means that these three words need to be within a 6-word distance. So let me search, and you see that this after eating and vomiting are always quite near to each other. Yeah, the maximum can be here a few words in between. Now if I would have done the same search, I click here, I change again, I right mouse click and I select sentence. So I do the same search but now within a sentence, enter, enter, and you see that I also find now symptoms where the words are at a much larger distance.